Thanks for listening. This is a continuation from episode 2. Number 3 on how I was able to build my business. Treat your business like you have something to lose. It's the attitude and mindset you have toward your business and your customers that matters a lot. When someone refers business your way, they are putting their name and reputation on the line for you. They believe in your work, and now as someone who's getting the referral, my attitude and approach to this has always been A, I'm really grateful that someone values and enjoys my work enough to trust me to do the work and vouch for me, and B, I know that the best way to thank someone for having referred me to new business is to do a great job. Why? Because the customer, if you do a great job and the customer is happy with the work that was done, and it makes the person referring you look good to their colleagues. Let me give you an example. Sometimes I get asked to work on a new project for a client to shoot visuals to support the marketing that they want to do. I may have worked with this person in the past, but this is a new project and my contact has decided to select me to work with. She's the person who has vouched for me in front of her team, saying that I'm the right person to get the job done. While she needs to be happy with my performance, I also know that my work needs to impress her director and colleagues. Imagine I do the work and it falls flat. Not only would I make her look bad in front of her colleagues for having vouched for me, but the work that they needed done is not up to standards and they can't use it. That's like the worst case scenario. I would never get hired again. So my mindset approach to this is that I must do an incredible job for my contact. And I obviously want more work down the road from this client. So failing is not an option and I need to give it the respect it deserves. In this particular situation that I've outlined, after the work was done, she shared with me how much her director liked the final results of my work. That's what I was going for. I really like seeing these messages where other people, like her colleagues or my contact's colleagues, enjoying the work that I've done. So just all in all, it's good for everybody. Number 4, highlight the value-added aspects of your business. The marketplace has lots of competition. There's already lots of photographers out there. There's lots of restaurants out there. There's lots of wellness professionals out there. For just about any service, there's lots of other people doing it, and they're also really good at doing it as well. So what's a person to do with all this competition? Well, when a potential customer is trying to decide on who to work with and it's down to 2 to 3 choices, and the customer sees that they're all quite similar in style, quality, and capability, they'll want to naturally go to the next and easiest method of determining who they will buy from, the price. And I knew this. So I also understood quite early that quality is the minimum expectation. So when I'm being asked to quote on a photography project, I don't get into talking about how I'm one of the best at what I do or that I produce amazing results, because I already know that they looked at my work, and obviously they're contacting me because I'm already the caliber of what they're looking for. But now, if they're at the quoting stage, that means that they're also checking with 2 to 3 other photographers. So it's my job to highlight the value-added aspects of what I offer. The things that I always highlight are, I've worked in marketing, and actually, as a matter of fact, I own my own digital marketing agency, so I understand what they're looking for, and they get to leverage my experience in producing visuals that will be effective in reaching the goals that they have for the particular project that they're after. And secondly, I'll ask them when they need the edited photos by, because turnaround time does matter. Sometimes clients need work back like the next day after the shoot, or it's in 2 business days because they have a tight deadline. And at this point, if you have the ability to meet that requirement, you're going to be ahead of the other people that they've asked to quote as well. There's other things that I might outline as well, like the process for selecting the photos with a proofing gallery, which makes things really efficient. And I might talk about how my entire process is stress-free. If they're looking at my process versus another vendor, I want them to think, wow, Chant's process is super simple and these other guys sound more complicated. The point I'm trying to make is I'm not trying to win them over on price, because I know I might be priced similar to the competition. So I'm going to highlight what else I'm bringing to the table. And sometimes I might even be more direct and ask them, what matters to you right now for this project? What do you need to have happen? So, they might appreciate me asking more direct questions, or the fact that I sound like I'm trying to solve the problem they have. This all matters. If I can relate this to other businesses for those listening, You can highlight value added things like you have a satisfaction guarantee, like a money back guarantee. You can highlight the accessibility to you. Maybe you're more available to answer questions during the day than your competition. That's customer support. If you sell products, you can talk about the return process. You can talk about how super simple it is. It's an easy process. If you're a personal trainer, you can talk about how you offer online training or online group training, or you might have an option where you can go to them. These are all value added things that don't have to do anything with pricing, and it helps you stand out from the competition. Okay, let's wrap this up. So the 4 things that I focused on to build my business from scratch was, number 1, get my marketing and branding right. Because marketing and branding is all about perception, and you need to build on how you want your customers or audience to perceive your business. Most people are starting off small, and as I said earlier, I wanted people to think that my business was bigger than it was. So then I put all these things in place to give that perception, and it worked for me. Number 2, build relationships. The old saying goes, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And in the business world, that's absolutely true. And that was part A. Part B is putting yourself out there. So if you are uncomfortable with talking about yourself or just even people in general, well, you need to get comfortable with that. And how do you get comfortable with that? You need to put yourself in situations where you're just talking to people more, and you decide how that looks for you. However that looks. Mine was getting people to go out for coffee with me and just having a conversation. Number 3, treat your business like you have something to lose. That speaks to your mindset and attitude towards getting and keeping referrals going. Number 4, highlight the value added aspects of what you offer. So if everybody looks the same, if the competition looks very similar, what else are you going to bring to the table? That's going to be up to you. All right, to close this off, if you're a creator, freelancer, or small business owner, and you provide a product or service, I hope you remember this next part. The work you do or your performance either opens or closes the door to future business. Continued business is not guaranteed, and you actually have a big role in whether or not that happens. For example, if you're a photographer, videographer, graphic designer, copywriter, web designer, or you work in marketing, how your performance is for the current project will either open the door to continued business or future business and more referrals, or it's going to close that door. You don't do a good job, you're not going to get hired back. You do a good job, you're most likely going to get hired back. The marketplace is very competitive and your customers have options out there. So I say again that continued business is never guaranteed. So just because you have an existing relationship with a client, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try as hard next time you work together. Treat it like this is the first time you're working together, and show them that you value their business, and be focused on what you're doing and focused on doing an amazing job and producing the results that they're looking for. This is the mindset that I had going into my business back in 2014, and it served me really well. I hope that you've had some takeaways from this podcast. And if you really enjoyed it and you found it helpful, I hope you share it with others so that they can get the same experience and information as well. Thank you.